Hi, everybody, and good evening. Welcome to Precise Mistakes. Tonight, we're going to be talking about using social media platforms to educate and inspire. We also want to talk about getting involved if you're not already involved, but you're thinking about it, or we can convince you. So I'm your host, Jason McGinn, and I'm from McGinn's Woodshop, obviously. And tonight we have on for panel members, we have Izzy Swan from the Toolmasters Association. You can find him on izzyswan.com. We also have Jamie Page from JP Woodworks. We have Chris Cute from Make the First Cut, Carl Jacobson from Woodshop TV, and Mathew Haas from Awesome Wood Things. Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. Tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking about using social media platforms to educate and inspire. First thing, maybe to get right into it, I'm going to go around and have you guys introduce yourselves, quickly. I know I just introduced you, but quickly, and go over basically what you do with your social media, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and just a basic overview of kind of what you do currently. Maybe we'll go ahead and start with Carl Jacobson since you're on my left.
Yeah, I'm Carl Jacobson, and as far as social media, I use YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. I just try and use them all to, give project updates and things like that to help promote the videos. I am not the best at this at all. I'm still learning, so I'm not probably not the one to ask what the best thing to do is.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you. And next is Chris Cute. What do you use for social media, and what do you how do you use it? Just in a quick overview.
I use basically two media platforms only. I don't do a lot of social media, to be quite honest with you. I upload videos to YouTube, so I'm a presence there. If you wish to find me, I'm also I'm active on Facebook, and I just share my stuff around to hopefully inspire and educate some people on things that maybe they don't need to do. I don't already know how to do. And that's basically my whole avenue. I don't get too involved with the other platforms, if you want to call them that, on social media. It's YouTube and Facebook pretty much for me.
Well, you do use one SoundCloud with your Maker International.
Yes, we do. But you know what? I'm not the. We do a podcast. Jimmy and I, along with Alan Robinson, Joe Whitaker, and Richard Morley. But I'm not the active person on that. I mean, that would be Alan's area of expertise. He does the SoundCloud and the iTunes, and I kind of handle the YouTube thing because that's where I'm comfortable.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, and welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Next up, Izzy Swan. Izzy, I heard you're on social media.
Yeah, a little bit. You can find me at izzyswan.com, Facebook at Izzy Swan Woodworking, Facebook under Izzy Swans, Instagram Izzy Swan _ Woodworking. So I'm on all those platforms. I'm pretty active on Instagram and YouTube. Obviously, you can find me there, and a little bit on Facebook. So spend a lot of time over on Instagram these days.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. Next up, we have Jamie Page, JP Woodworks. Jamie, you want to go ahead and tell us how you use social media, or what you use, sorry, in a basic overview?
What do I use? I use Instagram, Twitter, but very little. Facebook, I mainly use it basically for uploading silly pictures. And just general pictures of keeping up to date with what everyone's doing, and just posting progress pictures of what I'm doing. That's basically about it, really.
Cool. Thank you. And last up, we have Mathew Haas.
Yes, Matt Haas here. Awesome Wood Things on YouTube, awesomewoodthings.com. I use it mostly to promote videos that I've just uploaded, but I also give a lot of value to the community if there's a conversation thread or messaging, and shout outs as well. If I see something that's really awesome, I have to share it and promote it to the world. Mostly it's YouTube and Facebook for me, and YouTube is a social media platform. Don't forget that. Some people just upload and go. shouldn't do that. I'm also on Instagram pretty much, and to some extent Reddit and Instructables. Do not discount the Instructables platform. It can be a huge win in many ways. So,
Cool. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate you coming on. And every one of you guys have a unique perspective on social media, which is why I wanted you to come on the show and talk about your perspectives and how you use them to maybe help people who are watching either increase what they're doing, their reach or their goals, or maybe inspire them to get involved. That's something else that's a real big thing in my books is when I started into YouTube, I thought it was really cool and it was a really neat concept, but I just never really had, I don't even know how to describe it, just that extra step, that push to go. And I had Steve Ramsey on a video once, and he basically just told me to do it. And so I was like, all right, I just chucked the video on, and then I kept doing it, and now I'm there. So with that said, I have my first roundtable. We're going to go around, and during this, though, I'm going to address individually, but I want everybody to be involved with the conversation. So if you have input or anything, please feel free. And you guys watching in the chat there, we're watching for your comments. If you have questions at all, please feel free to ask them. And anybody on the panel here, if you see the questions and you wanted to address them, please feel free, because I don't have a chance to catch them all the time. So the first question is, how do you view and use social media to grow your business or hobby? So growing your audience, and how do you what's your main, I guess, like your drive or your tactics, I guess, for building up and growing your audience? That could be also like what you're telling that, like, what do you enjoy about that? What do you get out of that personally? And maybe what are some things that you don't prefer? So we'll go ahead and we'll start with Carl Jacobson. Pick on you again.
All right. So as far as social media goes, I use it quite a bit to just give product updates and or project updates. But it really, I don't know, it keeps people involved, lets them know what's going on. Not only, for like a video, but just personal stuff too. If you're going on a trip or, like the meetups and things like that, all that's, it all kind of works together. And if you're just putting up a video every week and you're not involved in social media or the community, it's going to hurt you. But like I said, it's as far as growing a business or building up your YouTube channel. But I don't know. I understand, how it all works and everything. But like I said, I'm still trying to get really, into it because I haven't been for a long time.
Maybe let me be a little more specific then and help you with some direction. Like you in particular use Twitch really well. What is it that brought you into Twitch, and how do you kind of leverage Twitch with what you do and how you do it, and why do you use Twitch?
I started doing Twitch to just reach a different audience. So there's some other people on there, Bob and Zach and a few other people too, and it's just a little bit different audience than YouTube. So I thought it would be great, and I'm out here all the time working anyway. So why not just turn the camera on and film whatever I'm doing. I started out on Twitch trying to do the YouTube videos, but it was really hard to do a live stream and move the cameras around and everything else. So I just started doing just projects for Twitch. So I asked for requests. And as far as helping out for YouTube, I think we picked up some new subscribers from Twitch, but it's a completely different environment over there because it's just a live show, and there's I don't know, there's quite a few people doing it now, so I'm really enjoying it, and it's helped me personally get more comfortable in front of an audience. Before I would do demos and stuff. I was nervous about it, but this is really, just made me comfortable turning and talking at the same time.
And I've learned a few tactical tips from you as well. Watching you, observing you on Twitch, like multiple angles with your cameras is really cool. And also you have your wife in your ear, so she can relay questions to you and you can pay attention to what you're doing and kind of keep that flow of keeping the audience in what you're doing as opposed to trying to keep track of the chat.
Right. And it's, so when we started out, I have my computer here on the lathe over there, and if I was just doing, some general woodworking, I would, probably be able to see it better. So I thought, that'd be great if he was on there with me and I could just keep learning and answer questions. So yeah, it's working out great. And I think everybody, for the most part, really enjoys it. We get to interact, in the chat with each other, and then if they have a question, just throw that out there too. So having a lot of fun with it.
And it works the same way YouTube works, where you have subscribers, followers, that sort. And you build up your audience that way. Do you cross-platform that as well? And how do you kind of leverage that?
So as far as mentioning it on the videos, so I do on YouTube. I mention that I'm, sometimes I throw out there that I'm on Twitch. If you have any questions, pop over there. And it works kind of the same way. The way you set it all up is a little bit different. You have to go through a separate stream platform to get it on the Twitch, but you have followers and yeah, it's kind of the same thing as like a YouTube live like this, but you have to go through a separate program to get it on there. But yeah, I try and throw it out there every once in a while that the YouTube videos that I do a live show. Cool.
Well, thank you very much. Does anybody want to add anything or ask anything at the same time?
Jason, the only perspective I have on that is, I am probably the oddball of the bunch here because I don't actually use social media as I'm not a business, so I don't do this as a money generating thing or a population building thing. So other than sharing my own YouTube stuff to a few of my own pages on Facebook, I really don't use social media to grow my audience, which is probably a cardinal sin. If you actually want to grow what you're doing, you should probably be all over the place and out there pushing yourself. I just personally don't, because I spent 30 years doing that, and I'm just kind of tired of doing it. So what I do, but I tell you what I do try to do. I do try to share the videos and the creators. If I see something that I really like and I'm really inspired by, I try to pass that inspiration on. As simply as using my own Facebook page, because I have a couple pages on Facebook. There's my personal page, which is under my name, and there's my Make the First Cut page, which I put most of my videos on. But I will actually intentionally try to put my inspirational pieces out on my own personal page so that people who aren't necessarily in our community get exposed to it and understand it. So it's kind of I'm more community based. I guess I'm trying to grow the community more than I'm trying to grow myself at this point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're more interested in growing relationships and connections than
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I'm exactly the same as Chris, to be honest. I'm totally in this run for the fun of it. I'm not in it for making money or anything like that, So yeah, I'm totally with Chris. I'm totally all about growing the community, promoting everybody else rather than myself and things like that, So yeah, sorry, Matt, go on.
No, it's all good. Yeah, similar statements here. What I do in the shop is hobby. It is 100% hobby. I would like to, grab some cash for a while, but I'm all about promoting the things that I put on YouTube and the things that make it to YouTube are things I am completely jazzed about. You know, if it's not awesome, I try not to post it. So I have a lot of energy in my videos, and that kind of carries over into social media as well. I'm just trying to kind of get my stuff out there, very community focused as well, because I'm all about value. When I post, it's, you know, promoting my stuff a little bit, and it's interacting with the community, answering questions, jumping in on some thought experiments. Someone posts a question, what they think about this or that. As long I want to be seen and seen often and have value associated with me. Oh, there's Awesome Wood Things. He, you know, oh, there's Matt. He gave me some, you know, some good ideas. Oh, I remember that few conversations he was on. That's value. So I think if you kind of sprinkle in the business stuff, hey, come watch my stuff, and have that be a small part of here's value, that's, I think, the way you need to play it. And the struggle I have is trying to keep the fun in the hobby, you know, and that is a pretty big thing, because yes, I would love to, you know, grab some, you know, eyeballs and attention and eventually dollars. But then will there be deadlines? Will there be self-imposed deadlines? Will there be, you know, there's a lot of pressure. I don't want to get to the point where I have to do something in the shop because I have to. I only want to do it when I want to. And I think that's a tough one.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
The
sense.
balance.
Everyone will tell you how, you know, the revenue streams and how to do it, but can people really tell you keeping it fun and doing that? I think that's the big question, at least for me. So,
And you know what? With that said, one person that I think sincerely has put together community and business the right way would be Izzy Swan. As Toolmaster Association, Izzy, honestly, I really do love what you're doing there, and it really does focus. The better the community does is the base of the actual company. And I think that's a great way to do things. Izzy, you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, just touching, I'm sorry, my quick backstory here. My computer, we had a little power surge here, and my computer shut down. And then when I restarted it, it wanted to update. So it took me a few minutes to get back.
It was 10.
Yeah, fun. You know, I caught a little bit about what Mathew was saying about, you know, keeping things fun. And I think that's really a very large part of what it means to be part of this community, because we get to show what we're doing, we get to share what we're doing, we get to enjoy what other people are doing. And for me personally, that's fun. And I think for me, especially, growing a community is the number one most important thing that we do on social media, is to you know, share our ideas, to inspire other people to get involved with what's happening here, this movement, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, that's really the number one thing. That's what drives me more than anything else. And for me, seeing more people coming into the fold, more people being part of this very accepting, very generous, very amazing community that we all thrive in, is huge. And now at the end of the day, we all have bills to pay. The rent must be paid. We have to eat, and you know, some of us have children to take care of. So those things are high priority. Those are more important than having fun. So if you can kind of envelope ideas and be creative, use that creative passion, that creative energy that most of us live in, to envelop new ideas, or to do things like the Toolmasters Association. For me, that was a way of helping support not only what I'm doing, but also helping support other people as well. It wasn't just this one single idea to help me. It was, how can I help the community? How can I help other creators in the community by offering affiliate programs so they can use this business platform to help create an income for themselves? It was about helping the people in the community by doing, you know, I mean, we can't do a lot, but we do some giveaways that gets tools in people's hands. And more importantly, and I think the one thing that is often missed in in the community is information. You know, the most valuable thing that any of us have to offer anyone else. And it's not free tools. It's not, you know, handshakes. It's not pats on the backs, but it's information. It takes things that would otherwise be difficult, or maybe, you know, an idea that somebody else wouldn't have thought of, and we share that idea, and that inspires them to do something else. So being able to share, being able to have all these platforms that we're involved in and share that information, which is at the end of the day, the most valuable thing that any of us do is share knowledge, share information. And that's more valuable than tools. That's more valuable than anything else we do. And what's very unique about the business platform, from that side of it, from the business platform, is we're giving that away. We're taking the most very valuable thing we have, and we're going, here it is. Take it, run with it, do whatever you want to do with it. Use it to inspire, use it to learn, use it to entertain, whatever you want to do with it. We're giving this to you for free. Now we have to take that and figure out how we're going to monetize on the audience, how we build equity in the people who enjoy that information, that content that we put out, to provide you know, an income for ourselves, so we can, you know, continue to grow. I mean, for, you know, and I'm talking more for people in, you know, in my shoes. I know there's a lot of creators out there to do this for fun, and that's awesome. And that's how I started. I just wanted to get out there and meet more woodworkers. And, you know, it was kind of a happy set of circumstances that led me to this position where I'm at today. So, you know, keeping it fun, keeping it informative, keeping it high value for everyone involved in the community is very important. So if we can envelope those ideas and those concepts into a way to also monetize what we're doing, that's great. And that's why we have things like Patreon. That's why things like sponsorships are very high value. And I know that's sponsorships have kind of got a negative connotation in some aspects of the community. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, the people that we're working with, the tool companies that we're working with, they're people too. And, you know, they have to go home and feed their kids as well. So, you know, we're in a unique position to share product and ideas and services that a lot of people would never know about if we didn't share that. So we're sharing that as well. We're getting a little bit of money for that. And the people on the other end of it who have bills to pay and children to feed are also benefiting from all of this, from that symbiotic relationship that we have. So, you know, sponsorships are not a bad thing for, you know, and so I want to try and get past that. And when I started out in this, I have to be honest, I was very negative towards the whole sponsorship thing, you know, but as you progress, and like everyone, I learn, I grow just like everyone else does. I realize that there's more and more of that is important to this community, because it helps this community grow. It helps this community thrive. It helps all of us that do sponsorships, and that those of us with the potential for sponsorships in the future to continue to do what we do and to continue to put that free, valuable information out there in the world. So
it also enables people with the mass experience, and like people in your situation, it takes time to do that stuff. And so you can use that time to make money, or you can use that time to help everybody. And so you want to help everybody, but at the same time, you're going to need some money, because, like you said, you got to feed your kids, you got to keep the lights on, the heat, and all that jazz. So the AC.
Yeah.
You know,
when you start talking about things like tool masters and sponsorships, and, you know, and planned sales, and, you know, ways that, you know, if you're out there enjoying somebody's content, help support them. You know.
Yeah.
By joining, by being part of the community. And, you know, all Tool Masters is just another community of very highly motivated DIYers and professionals and people who want to come together and just be part of something that is valuable. You know, again, we're back to the information thing. You know, it's a place where you can get information without any of the, you know, dancing through hoops. You ask a question, it gets answered. You know, so that's what. And I'm sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to. I got on my soapbox. I'll step off of it now. So.
No, you're a big guy. You have a big soapbox. You're allowed to stand on it. My whole thing with sponsorships, and I do kind of sort of understand the viewer sort of negativity to it. But if you really wanted to think about it, and a lot of people, I think this is the problem. A lot of people don't really want to think about this. The sponsorships is where the business world has met our world, and they see value in it, and they're now willing to offer their support to what we are doing, whether it's going to Izzy Swan, to Chris Cute, to Jason McGinn, whoever it is, they are seeing a value in what we are doing, and they are willing to spend their money to get their name out there because they believe in what we're doing. I don't have a problem with sponsorships because of that. They are supporting us by sponsoring you or anybody else that's out there. So why? I don't have a negative attitude towards sponsorships whatsoever, and I don't quite understand why other people do either. If you stop and think about it.
And on top of that, you get insight from your peers. So, I get sent a tool. I use that tool. I'll tell everybody if it's good or bad, in my opinion, and what I know about it or whatever it happens to be. And now that perspective is shared, and more information is out there on topic X, Y, Z. Because I learn more, I share it. People learn more. It's a snowball.
Right. If learning and entertainment value can be in your video while you have a sponsor, all good. People want to be entertained. People want to learn. If those two components are in there, no one should have a problem. And if they do, then, that's their problem. Yeah.
Well, it goes back to, jumping back to the original idea of this whole thing is where we want to, we want to use social media to educate, to entertain, and to, there's ego involved in it as well. It's very cool to be able to put, an experience that you had or a project that you had or an idea that you had and share that and have people, comment back and say, hey, that was really cool, Izzy. I really enjoyed that. Thank you I learned something new today. I'll be the first person to admit that makes me feel good. That makes me want to get back out in the shop, make another video about something else because I thrive on that feedback. I thrive on people going, that was really cool, Izzy. That was a nice thing. And I don't think there's any one of us here that's made a video and had somebody comment and say that was really cool and not appreciated that, not when that makes me feel good. That makes all the time and the energy and the money and the blood, sweat, and tears that we put into this, that makes it more valuable to us than any money, than any, anything else, because we want, like any other human being, we want that acceptance and being able to share those concepts, those comments that you guys leave, that people leave on our videos, those thumbs up, those emails, those messages, even though we can't get to all of them, they mean so much, and for me, I want other people to experience that. When someone says, hey, I've been thinking about making videos, but I don't know, I don't have a nice camera or whatever. I just, I feel like you're sitting on the toilet and you haven't pooped yet. You just need to poop, Get out there.
Maybe
get out there and do it.
That's a perfect segue into a question I wanted to ask everybody and kind of start a conversation on would be, if you could give somebody advice, into getting new into the social media game, YouTube or Twitch or wherever they want to go for a platform or what they choose. If they're looking to get involved with the community, being specific to maker, artist, and engineering minds that we tend to have in this community here, what kind of advice would you give them in getting started or an angle to kind of, a step forward to take, first steps kind of thing?
I can throw in a few things. One, just get started. Tech doesn't matter. Gear doesn't matter. Just start. If the question really is content, what content do you want to start out getting into and promoting on social media, I think. And if content is part of it, I'll say something that good friend of mine, Patrick from Patrick's Workshop, I asked everyone, how do you grow a YouTube channel? Give me some tips. Give me some tips. He said something that was so short, so succinct, and so dead on. It was, don't post stupid stuff. And that's a typical Patrick thing to say if you know him. But it's so true because this stuff will live on in your back catalog. And, just if there's something really dumb, and just keep it off. Keep it off your stuff, and move forward. Post content. Do what you think's comfortable.
Maybe specify what dumb is though, because when I was, before I got into YouTube, that's what I felt. I felt like I had nothing to offer. I felt like if I put a video out, there's like 700,000 people who know it way better than I do, who can do it better than I can do it. Why would I put a video out? Why would I go and put my stuff out there? And
the best way I can answer that is, think about the long game. Even if you're just tootling around on YouTube just for the fun of it, think, well, what if someone does want to sponsor me? Is what I'm doing in this video going to raise an eyebrow? And maybe someone would say, no, I'm not touching that. Keep it light, keep it entertaining, stay away from the hot button issues.
Passionate opinions.
Yeah. I mean, if you had a bender in your shop and there's beer cans everywhere, they clean them up.
Well,
not that a beer is bad, or a single.
At the same time, though, I believe a piece to YouTube that makes it unique as opposed to TV is the personality aspect. And people, whether you think a personality is good or not, or I think a personality is good or not, there's going to be an audience for that said personality.
Oh, there's an audience. There's an audience for everybody. I don't care what your approach is, how you do it. There's an audience out there for everybody. Now, how that audience will ever eventually grow and peak out, is yet to be seen. But I mean, there's an audience out there for everybody in what you do. And that's why anybody who's even interested should jump in, because you will find an audience. And the people ask, how do I get involved in the social media game? How do I get involved in this community? I just look at them and say, man, do me a favor, jump in with both feet and don't be concerned about it, because I'm telling you, the people that are within this community will welcome you with open arms. And I don't care what you do. They will. It is that welcoming of a community. Do not be afraid to put yourself out there. And nothing, you know what? The worst thing that's happened to me since I put myself out there is it's helped me grow. Not only as a YouTube person or social media person, but it helped me grow in my hobby, because I've learned so much from so many different people in this community that it's just, if I hadn't jumped in with both feet, I wouldn't be where what I'm doing today. And I'm not trying to put that as being like a high bar, because it certainly isn't. But I was at a much lower bar when I first did this.
And as Izzy alluded to earlier, you grow as a person too. It really, to me anyway, it really makes you think about yourself and what, you reflect. I reflect a lot.
It's helped me. If you go back and watch some of my early videos, the first few of them, I wasn't even on camera. And I talked a little bit about this too, not only being more comfortable with myself, and put myself out there, it helped me in my woodworking, my wood turning. It forced me to try things that I probably, if I wasn't on YouTube, I probably would have got into one specific, type of turning and stuck with that. But, nobody wants to see a bowl every week. So it's, forced me to branch out and try things I probably wouldn't have tried before, so it's helped me all around.
Exactly.
And as a
Yeah.
How about you, Jamie? Something I like.
I mean, you have like everyone's just said, you haven't got to worry about, or like Matt just said, sorry, you haven't got to worry about what camera you can go. You can record on a cell phone these days. You just don't worry about what people want you to be, or what people wear expectations. But just be yourself.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day. I mean, and it also goes back to. Going back to what everyone was saying a minute ago about sponsorships and things like that, and what Matt said about what Patrick said as well. I mean, me with my videos, I was feeling so awkward in my videos because I wasn't being myself and because I was being what I thought everyone wanted me to be. And then I started messing around by wearing wigs and things like that. Okay, I may not be getting tool sponsorships after me, but one day I may get a sponsorship from a wig company. Do you know what I mean? It may not be the most ideal sponsorship, but it's just
you might be onto something. You're joking, but you might be onto something.
So it all comes down to personality. Just be yourself, and don't worry. Just press the upload button.
Be yourself, and that's also means be genuine, and
absolutely.
I know all about niches. Most of my stuff is geeky culture, and it's a small percentage of the population, but those that love my stuff really love it because I'm going down the niche road. But yeah, if you're genuine, That's a huge part of it too. Just be genuine.
Yeah.
Can't be fake. People can see right through it. That can pick it up. People are smart. They can pick up on these things.
You know, the one thing I'd like to mention too is that we're, you know, a lot of us we're talking about this, and in the background of our minds, most of us are thinking YouTube. Well, YouTube isn't the only social media outlet, and for those people who are afraid of a camera or who are afraid to get out and make videos, or you know, just don't. I mean, there are personalities that it just doesn't work for because they can't get past it, or for whatever reason it doesn't work. But there's also things like Instagram, or there's things like Facebook, and there's, you know, and then again on YouTube, you don't have to talk. You don't have to get in front of the camera and do, you know, a song and dance either. If you can, you know, do the project, show the project being built, maybe throw some words up on the screen to narrate what's happening. If there's any parts that are a little bit difficult to describe or that are not quite understandable, throw some words up on the screen. I mean, you can do that in Movie Maker. It's not hard. You can record on your cell phone and download it to Movie Maker.
Yeah, you do a slideshow if need be.
Right.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right, Izzy, because you don't need to do social media in a video form. I mean, we should get beyond that, because there is Instructables, there is Instagram, there is Snapchat, there's a whole venue of social media things out there that if you want to put yourself out in the public and get involved in the community, there are other ways to do it besides YouTube, and you know, and you can even do Facebook as far as pictures go, as far as that's concerned. But
another huge one still is blogging. Bloggers are still huge. There's a lot of people, like when I was just recently at a Home Depot event, and there were a lot of people there who don't do YouTube videos. They blog. They take pictures and write articles about their projects and put it on a website that they made themselves through Wix or, you know, one of the other easy form websites. And there's that avenue as well. You don't have to use a pre-built social media platform. It helps, but you know, so there's all kinds of. We live in a world where we can network so quickly and so easily just by using what's sitting right in front of us right now, our computers. You know, and I'll tell you from a business standpoint, you got a lot of marketers now that are looking really, really hard at Instagram. So if you know you're thinking about a platform that would perform well for you, that may not require, you know, as much time as making videos, look at Instagram. Throw great, you know, make a project, throw good pictures of it up there. Learn how to use the hashtags. It's not hard. There's plenty of articles on YouTube about how to do that. You know, so there's all these outlets. There's tons of them. You know, if you're building something and you didn't share a picture of it on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, it's shame on you. You know, you just robbed a whole ton of people from the opportunity to see a cool project, to maybe get inspired, to learn something. So shame on you if you didn't share it somewhere.
That's right. There should be a routine. You post the video on YouTube, and then you can make a small clip of it and post it on Facebook, because Facebook likes native video. So just do a little teaser, and then you have to get your image for Instagram, which is mostly square. So everything kind of needs tweak. Every platform has its own subtleties, and then
you can get your friend to repost it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, Jamie Page, you're a really good example on not even posting a project, but being like, well, now, yes, but I mean, being massively involved with the community.
Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier, just joking around with your memes and stuff. Like, I didn't even know you knew how to use a tool.
I know, right? I know. It's surprising how that works. I mean, I'll be the very first one to admit it.
But, you know, it's a prime example. Nobody cares about your skill level.
They don't care about. I don't even think they knew I even had a YouTube channel.
You have a YouTube channel?
Exactly.
Well, touching on another point is we need people from all different skill levels. You know, I mean, it's not because, you know, if somebody came, the first video they ever saw of me was a walking dinosaur powering a drill, you know, and that's all they saw, that would intimidate the heck out of people if they're just getting started, or, you know, or just entertain them. But, you know, the idea is if we have this whole community of different skill sets and different skill levels and different attitudes and different artistic, outlooks and impressions, then there's something there for everyone. And if you look hard enough, you'll find it. You know, it's like you take, you know, Ben and Jesse, they make videos with small form hand tools that are very friendly for people to make. You know, anybody that is a homeowner and wants to build a project, that's a great platform for them to watch, because they're building all these very, you know, friendly projects. You know, and if you're a hand tool guy and you're into high form woodworking, Wood Whisperer, you know, I mean, we got this guy who's got a great shop and all these amazing tools and this really great skill set, you know, so there's something there for those guys. And then there's, you know, the engineer side. There's like what Matt talks about. There's that smaller community where there's 3D printing and CNC and the kind of the geekers, the geek, pardon the use of the term. But there's that environment, well, you know, and you find people like my friend Wes Swain falls very well into that, and that's a smaller community, but it's a super strong community. So the more people posting at different levels, the better it is for everybody. So don't be afraid of posting a project. If you made a ladder and you put it in your bathroom to hang tablecloths on, let us see what it is. You know, let's. You never know. There's somebody out there that could look at that and go, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm going to try this, but maybe I'll use twigs instead of, you know, branches or whatever.
Well, like they say, fresh eyes, right? Like, yep. So maybe you're new to it. You don't really know all the ins and outs. So you just do something the way it makes sense to you. And then you have some industry professional going, oh, that's smart. You know, I never even thought to do it that way, kind of thing. So it's,
yep.
Well, you can tweak it in several different ways, and as Carl was talking about earlier, and as just Izzy just referenced, is there's all certain levels of people that are going to be interested in what you do. Because Carl, when you first started your YouTube, or when you first started throwing yourself out there, how have your skills gone from where you once were to where they are now because of what you've been doing? You have, and I'll tell you why I love this so much, is because I have watched Carl grow, and I have watched Carl actually get better. And so I'm going to put the words in your mouth, Carl. So he gave everybody a platform to get into turning wood. And if you follow Carl and have followed him for a while, and if you've actually participated in what he does, you've grown with him. Am I wrong, Carl?
No, not at all. I have grown, just like you said, tremendously. You know, just because I do it every day, and that's why too, like in the videos, I always, if I screw up, I leave it in the video, and I do that on purpose, because everybody's at a different skill level, and I don't want anybody to think I come out here and, you know, snap my fingers and, oh, the project's done. I have trouble turning, just like everybody else. Things screw up. I have a catch, or, you know, I mean, it happens to everybody. So don't. If you're going to make videos, do something up, please share it with everybody else. That will help everybody out. Yeah. So you're right, Chris. I have grown quite a bit since those first videos, and it's, you know, I mean, just practice. That's all it comes down to.
It's all about being genuine. You know, being genuine and showing your mistakes too. It works.
I would encourage people. I would encourage people who are interested in video and nervous about it to go and watch Carl's very first video and mine. Carl, mine is way worse than yours, FYI.
That's impossible.
No, it's not. Trust me. Go watch our very first videos. Go back, click on the video, go to YouTube, click on videos, and go to the very last one or the very first one and watch it. And I promise you, you will be belly laughing before the video is over on both of ours, you know. So it's not magic. It doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of time and experience and lessons, and like Carl, I've grown a lot as well, you know, in both my skill set for videoing and editing and that sort of thing, and a little bit in the woodworking world. I've kind of delved into stuff I didn't do before, so I've learned some stuff there too. But you know, back to the whole getting people to share stuff. Share your stuff, man. So
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. There's, you know, new people all the time, which is so neat. I subscribe to a lot of people, and I'm always picking up tips, you know, little things, and I always try, and just as far as the community goes, if I see, you know, somebody do something, I made a little vase and I did the foot the way he did it, and it was, you know, he just started turning last year, and he came up with this just cool idea that I saw, and he was willing to put a video out and share it, and I appreciate it. You know, everybody's involved like that. It's great. But Yeah, don't be discouraged. Just like Izzy said, I mean, if you do go back and watch that, please don't leave a comment on my first video.
Well, I just love Izzy's approach because Izzy said that he's going to guilt you into it if you. It's like, shame on you if you don't. It's like, oh gosh, I feel bad. No, I guess I better go out and do it. Well, good. That would, whatever works, Izzy, I'm with you, buddy.
No, I'm just to reiterate what Carl just said. In the professional world, I built and designed furniture for many, many years, and I would train. I can't tell you how many people I've trained in the shop to build my style of furniture. And I got to be honest with you, some of the best lessons I've learned over those years are from kids who just didn't know. They didn't have information, so they did this thing this way because it made sense to them, and it was cool, and it made sense, and it was, I was like, I never even thought of that. So it was fresh eyes, just this person who really had no vast experience of doing it this way because it makes sense to me, and I'd go look at that and I'd be like, why the hell didn't I think of that? It's the same thing with content and projects and videos. I go out there and I watch a gambit of people with different levels of experience, and a lot of times I'm looking at this. I just watched one of what's his name, Modern Builds. Watched one of his videos, and he's 21, 22 years old, fresh into this, and he did something, and I'm sitting looking at that going, 30 years of experience, and I never even thought of that, and it was perfect. It was genius. I'm like, so, and if he didn't put the effort into making the video or putting the content on Instagram, I would have never seen that. I would have never learned that. So, for all skill levels, get out there and do it. You never know.
So all that talk about sharing brings me to the last question. If you guys could give some advice on sharing, and I'll start this off as a little kind of like where I'm going with this, but how to share your content and get it out. For instance, I make YouTube videos, and then when I want to share those, or even say this show, I want to share this show information, get it out, get the link out, get it viewed, get as many people to see it, and kind of bring the audience in. Facebook doesn't like YouTube. YouTube doesn't like Facebook, but you can still play with them both. If you just put a YouTube link in, it's not going to spread around very good. But if you take a picture, like a thumbnail, and then your YouTube link, it will share a little better. But then on all social medias, whenever they have features that are different, they're always going to want to try and push those, like Facebook Live. And the one I want to bring up is Facebook Notes. So make a note. It's a nice display and a nice visual, and they don't filter my YouTube link, so I end up getting my actual word out a lot better than I would just simply pasting it in and sharing it. And the reason I say that is I'm looking for your guys' kind of tactics in how you share your content, and maybe how other people could kind of get the same ideas to share their stuff and get their word out and get their things more recognized.
Well, I mean, I'll do it with mine and the podcast, if you like. Normally, I just post mine straight to Facebook. Just post a link straight over. That's it, and then share it around the groups. With regards to the podcast, I do what you just said about the picture, and then I post the YouTube link after it along with SoundCloud, and the YouTube link. Sorry, and then share to the groups from the I've forgotten the name of the podcast now. The Maggers International Podcast group from into the separate groups. So that's basically how I share the episodes from there. But now I'm thinking about seeing if I can do the actual notes. From there. Sorry, Chris, it's because I was looking at Carl and I kept thinking Wood Turners Anonymous.
Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you, if you want to do a social experiment, if you just want to, and I'm just taking Facebook because I can only speak somewhat intelligently about Facebook as opposed to the other platforms. If you go to Facebook, and if you are a content creator, do me a favor. Try this little exercise out on your own. Go to your page where you normally post your YouTube videos, including the URL that just brings up the YouTube video where people can click and watch it on Facebook. But before you actually post that video, post a picture, and it doesn't matter what picture. Just post any picture you want to post on Facebook, and post that on that same platform that you normally would, whatever page it was. And then immediately after that, go ahead and post your YouTube video that you want to promote that day. And then in a week, go back and see how Facebook shared which post. I think you're going to find that Facebook shared that picture a heck of a lot more than they just shared your YouTube video. So if you do what Jason says and post the picture and include the link afterwards, Facebook will go ahead and share your video that way. It's just a way to get it's gaming the system, I guess is how I want to call that, guys. I don't know any other way to claim that. Matt, go ahead.
I'll take this one step further, and there's a technical answer, because they wrote the algorithm, and my understanding of the way it works is native video is king. Facebook will share that more than anything. Live is the other thing. Live is like on top of that, but I'm not quite sure that really fits into this topic. But so it's live is first. Native video is second, pictures and text is third, and way at the bottom is an embedded YouTube video link. You drop the link in, and it has the YouTube player. I'm even told, I'm not sure if this is true anymore, but at one time you got 0 ad revenue from people natively playing the video in Facebook. Facebook obfuscated the connection, so it was done in such a way that YouTube didn't even know there was a view. So that's scary if you're grabbing ad revenue.
Well, that's changed because an embedded video now does get it.
I'm glad it does. At one time it didn't, and that just goes to show you how the developers at Facebook are what they see as valuable, because there's all kinds of signals in Facebook that will suggest something on a post, no matter what it is more valuable than something else. And embedded YouTube videos is not very good on Facebook at all. Post a picture, that would be good. Better post a 10-second video clip teaser natively in Facebook. That's a step above. I kind of follow on the tech news, follow these platforms from a technical. I'm a web developer during the day, so
there's a lot and I would mention the one thing as well, because I don't follow that stuff as closely as I should. I do read about it from time to time when I'm trying to up my game a little bit, but I always suggest the same thing my father always said when I was growing up: if you want to be good at business, find somebody that's good at business and watch what they do, and then do it. So if you want to be good at this, and you really want to do your SEO, your social, go watch guys that are good at it. Watch Ben Ueda, watch Bob Claggett, watch these guys who really know their game, and watch what they're doing on Instagram, watch what they're doing on Facebook, watch what they're doing on the other social platforms and how they're promoting themselves. Watch their SEO, watch their taglines, watch what they're, watch their titles. Just pay attention. And it's really that simple. Pay attention, read a few articles, follow people like Tim Schmoyer and Daryl Eves on the social media front. These guys are experts. Google pays these guys for their advice. So,
I actually just caught Daryl, and he was saying Facebook still does the blockage on YouTube links.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so there's all of that. So definitely
all about signals. If a YouTube video page has 10 comments, and each comment the author, the video poster replied, the one where you like the reply, that's one more signal. Yours will go up on the top of the list. So you can have 10 comments, each with a reply. The one that has the reply with the thumbs up on it, that's one more nugget that's going to push that up to the top. So think like that. Think, what signal am I giving a social media platform, and do more of it on your own stuff or replies to your own stuff.
It's funny you actually mentioned it, Mathew. Matt, you want Mathew?
Matt, I go by Matt.
Okay.
It's Mathew on Facebook, but it's Matt.
I've actually been throwing around the idea and trying. Actually, I just tried it tonight. In pushing a live Facebook announcement. That show is going to be live. Links actually above. When you do a live, it's above. And I'm curious because of, like you said, the order of things. The live is like top dog. It's king.
Everyone gets notices.
But
your
now,
whole friend stream will get the red dot on their phone. It'll come through.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is
to
do a live from Facebook, but the live from Facebook is just video. Is just the YouTube video playing.
That's next level thinking, there, Izzy.
You know, I mean,
not surprising coming from you.
If you want people to see what you're doing, I mean, and live is the #1 thing. Just do a live YouTube video.
A live stream. I wonder if that would work. A live stream on YouTube.
Make it entertaining. Get your 60-inch big screen in the background. You know, instead, just get up there in front of it and go, "Watch this, guys."
I wouldn't mind pulling that stunt on Facebook because that's pretty hands off, but I wouldn't.
All right, let's
I'd be careful pulling tricks on Google's properties like YouTube.
Let's finish this off. I'm going to have a couple quick rounds. It's called quick fire. And what I want to do is go around to everybody and just get your answer on this. Just whatever at the top of your head, and just kind of, anyway, I'm just going to throw a statement and you tell me what you think. So if you could give yourself advice back when you were starting out and getting committed to your cause, like to your socials and to what you're doing, what advice would you give yourself?
Are we going in any order?
Whoever wants to talk first.
All right.
Go ahead.
I would not be afraid. Not be afraid. Don't fear it. Just do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't worry about what people think, and always blame Berkey.
Yeah. Be genuine. Don't worry about tech gear, and don't post anything stupid to your channel.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Me too. Actually, I do too.
And me.
I think the dumber the better.
No.
Well, as long as it can be dumb, but as long as it's entertaining. I mean, I look back at my videos and I think the troll bar, the squatty potty, all this stuff, and it's dumb, but it's fun.
Well, when I say that, I'm on the same page. I mean, I did a video where I lip synced to Prince's Kiss song and danced around my shop. I mean, come on. I'm right with you, brothers.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I subscribed.
You are a much braver man than I am, Matt.
My advice is what I would have changed to get started. My advice would be to actually motivate you to actually get started. And it's a realization that I came. That's why the channel that I have is called Make the First Cut. It's a matter of getting off your rear end and getting out there and doing it. Don't be afraid to do it. Is my whole message. Get out there and do it.
Booyah.
That's just get out there and do it. You can worry about the polish and how to clean things up and make it look better later. But if you don't get started, it's never going to happen. So get started. Let's do it. Come on.
I'll drink to that.
How about you, Mr. Jacobson?
Same thing. Just jump in. It's if you need some motivation, like Izzy said, go watch our first video. It's not going to be worse than that. So have a good time.
That's my motto too.
It's all uphill from there, right?
The water feels cold at first, and then it just warms right up. And then you don't want to get out.
Right?
So with that said, what are your goals for the next 5 years, or your next, projected? What do you have? Like, do you have like a subscriber goal? Do you have a maybe being in a certain kind of position? What are your aspirations for the next 5 years?
I'm 100% hobbyist. I just want to keep sharing my stuff, and the channel will grow the way it grows. I'll still push everything out on social media. I'll still be all over it, but my goal is not to have my shop time be a chore or be a task I'm not looking forward to.
Nice. It's a good goal.
Quick and easy.
Me is that I'm really happy with where I am in the community at the moment. The only goal I think I can say is what everyone wants, really, is a bigger shop.
Do you have like a meme count?
One about the size of Chris's.
No, Jesus, shut up, Jamie. You know what my goal is? And sincerely, my goal is to do what I can to help grow the community, and I mean that sincerely. But at the same time, by doing, and I say that because I know if I do that, I'm going to improve my own skills. And my 5-year goal is not a subscriber count. It's not a monetization thing. It's I want to get better at what I do, because I enjoy it so much that I really want to get good at it. And I'm not there yet, but I'll get there, and I guarantee you I'll get there.
Yeah, I don't have a 5-year goal or anything like that. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I do. There's not a day that goes by that this is a chore. I don't have have to have a video out on Friday. I want to put a video out on Friday. I love working in the shop. So, and as far as the community grows and the whole social media thing, I've really started to get more involved in that, over the last year or so, and I want to get more involved with that. Because it's just a fantastic community of people, and from just every aspect of it, it's just amazing.
And with that said, I've been on doing shows, and I've been on YouTube for 4 years now, 3 years, and until Toolmasters Association, thank you, sent me to Atlanta, and I got to shake all these makers' hands. It's like, I loved it before, and now it just like I'm just melted, I guess would be the word for it. And so I just want to tell people, if you can go to these conventions, these meetups, and the things like that, seriously do it. It's a game changer. There's one thing about meeting people over the internet, but when you meet them in person, changes everything. With that said, there's a lot of love in this community. Thank you guys very much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. It was a great conversation. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so we do have to go for tonight. I forgot at the start of the show to announce next week. What am I doing next week? Yes, I was listening to Makers International podcast last week, and they talked about how do you use your tools. And it was a really great in-depth conversation that could have went on for hours. And I think I would like to continue that conversation. So next week, I'm going to find some great folks like these fine panel members, and we're going to continue on with that conversation. Again, thank you very much, everybody, for coming out. I really appreciate it. And I hope everybody out there in chat and who's watching has a great week.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Jason.
Thank you, chat room. We love you.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, and Knuckles.